I feel like in an age that almost seems to it seems to be very proud of how open and accepting it is. I feel like closed-mindedness is a huge like epidemic amongst the youth mostly. In a lot of ways, I mean, people between the ages of maybe 12 to 21. Closed-mindedness is a huge thing, and you wouldn't think with the way things are these days. Very I guess you could say very like politically correct a lot of things are these days, and how people try to be inclusive, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, really. Um, but closed-mindedness is a huge thing these days. People are very closed-minded, and I don't know where it came from. I don't know where it came from, and it's like people are so hesitant to accept or learn and understand and see the nuances in other people and how they live and what they believe in and what they do. Um, and I think one of the biggest examples of that is some of people's thoughts on religion. I think people don't really understand what religion is. I think when they think of religion, they think of the institution, the whole, the church and the church leaders and the doctrines and the rules and the all these things and the shit that churches have done. And and just for anything, I mean, I feel like that's all people seem to see. I don't think they really and when there's debates, I mean, people look at things with such a surface level understanding of how many things, in a lot of scriptures, are said. And this closed-mindedness and this hesitancy to look at anything past the surface level. I mean, and you look at media coming out these days. I mean, subtlety has gone out the window. It's like subtlety has gone right out the window. Um, and it's like people these days, it's almost like they need everything to be spoon fed to them. They need to be told um, what is and is not, and what to think, and it's scary in a lot of ways. I obviously I'm probably in a lot of ways maybe a victim to this too. You know I'm not saying that I'm some super duper free thinker who is enlightened and knows everything, because I'm sure I'm not. I'm sure there's a lot of things that I've been convinced of that might not be 100% true, or I might have been misled, or many things like that. And I'm sure I have my closed-minded qualities about me. But as someone who very deeply cares about people not being closed-minded, and people um, be wanting to understand each other and wanting to love each other and all these things, it is a very big concern to me. You know, I saw um, a few. Actually, it was a few days ago. I think it was maybe yesterday. I saw someone posting online, and they were talking about how when they would tell their people in their lives about their mental health struggles, how people would bring up Jesus and Christianity and like try and comfort them through that, and how that annoyed them, and how they didn't like that. And I mean, I understand their perspective there. I mean, I do would if I was an atheist person, if I was someone from maybe from another religion, I think I would maybe in some ways maybe even take offense to that. I would not like that. It seems very you know almost dismissive of the other person's beliefs, and almost sort of like trying to not actually fix the problem, but to just say, oh, just believe in Jesus. It's like you're using their issues to try and convince them of what you believe in. And I think that is wrong. I don't think that's good. to do. But some of the reaction to this, I mean, you see people who are expressing the same sentiment, and then there's some people who are trying to, you know, say that, oh, they're right though, because if you believe in Jesus, everything will be okay. But there's also some people that were being extremely nasty, not on both sides. People being extremely nasty towards the person for not liking that kind of thing, and people being extremely nasty towards religion in general. Um, and I saw this video. It was actually kind of it was kind of funny, but it was this guy, and it was like something, it said something like oh, if you believe in Jesus, you won't have to wish anymore. And then the guy said like tell the Lord he can come have this dick. Um, and then like I thought, I mean, obviously that's a pretty distasteful joke. It is offensive, but I don't really care about that. I don't think it is kind of funny. But then the guy went on. He called religion fairy tales and said all these really just hateful, hurtful things that like why like that I just don't understand why you would say that about another person's culture and their way of thinking. It's very hurtful. People in these days, they seem to get off on being just being mean. It's almost like being mean these days is like fashionable for some reason in a lot of ways. And like it's like almost being mean is like righteous, you know? Like and people who disagree with like another group, um there is no like, there is no, meeting in the middle. There is no discussion. There is just being mean to each other, you know? Trying to humiliate each other, trying to just and it's a very depressing state of affairs, really. It's depressing like world to navigate, you know? And as, someone who, I mean, I try my best to, see the bigger picture in a lot of ways. And I may have even fallen victim to this kind of thing. I'm not I obviously sometimes I can get a little mean. Maybe if I'm having some kind of argument or something, or if I think someone is not deserving of my respect, which is a habit that I do want to get out of, because I don't like doing that. I don't like, being mean to people and, being disrespectful to people and, and that sort of thing. But I don't know. It's something that I see a lot. It's like a trend. It's like hip. It's hip to be mean these days, and I just don't understand. For coming from, you'd think with the way some people talk about the current generation, you'd think that they wouldn't want to be mean at all. With how like, oh, it's the sensitive generation. It's trying to, be more sensitive and be politically correct, and then everyone's just fucking mean. Everyone's so fucking mean, man. Stop being so mean, please. That's really the message I want to spread. Stop being so fucking mean, dude. Being mean isn't. It's not cool. It's not cool to be mean. It just hurts people. And then look at some online feminists, and I guess you would usually call me a feminist. I do want I do think women deserve equal rights. I do think women have a lot of problems in the world, and that there's a lot of things to be done. But some women online, some like female feminists, even some men joining in, saying all of these terrible fucking things about just like random men and just men in general, and then they try to pass it off being like, oh, it's just about the patriarchy. It's not meant to be, put it like individuals, but it's so it's like Schrodinger's cat almost. It's like you have to like if you react to them saying that shit, then they'll get mad at you and say that you're bad because you're reacting to them saying this shit. But they're only just making a statement about the patriarchy, and if you think that this is about you, then you're actually bad. That's such a stupid argument. It really is. It's such a stupid argument. And I wish people had the ability to just see, to empathize with people and understand how you affect other people, and not just like being more open-minded towards the feelings of others, and how they're thinking and how your words and actions may affect them. And like, you see, I've seen people like, some people online, they make fun of other people's appearance, and talk about people's weight and shit, just because, and they think they can do that just because they don't agree with that person. And I don't think that they understand that even if someone, there could be someone who agrees with you, who could scroll by and they could see that, and they would be like, "Oh, I have those qualities. Am I also fucking ugly? Am I bad?" And sometimes that could even make people disillusioned. It could make people go over to the side of the person that you're trying to ridicule, and it's just not a good thing to be doing. I just wish people could be nicer. I just wish people could be nicer. And of course, there's always going to be nasty people in the world. Always. There always has been. There always will be. But it's like it's an epidemic these days. And I guess I don't even know what I'm really on about here, but I guess the the message of this is just be open minded, be respectful of people's feelings, try to not hurt other people, um, even if you may not agree with them. Try to be respectful, and I don't know. Um, I don't really know if you care to learn anything from me. I'm not really, you know, I'm not super wise or anything, but yeah. So thank you. That's all.